bread, a nice big steak and fries to go. Listen to what I said. I need something more than soup to keep me satisfied. Give me food, that's what I want. Bolognese all through the days, can't wait till the mayonnaise. Give me food, that's what I want. A chicken curry, bring it here in a hurry. It's food that I want.
That's plenty.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, to a very special episode of Pirate King Kitchen. Since following government guidelines, we are allowed to have two other people in our garden, as long as they're outside, kitchen's outside. So we went all the way through. This is our 1 year birthday here at Pirate King Kitchen. All the way through our back catalogue of our guests and the people we've called in and people we had on the podcast, and we have found our best guest ever. Unfortunately, they weren't available, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Ferguson.
How are we doing, Peter?
I'd like before we get started, I'd like to speak about the balloons which are producers and blown out of shot. These are our birthday balloons. We also have birthday balloons at the back, which are probably a health and safety issue. We've got our own Pirate King Kitchen birthday balloon. Happy first birthday. So yes, this is us. We've been doing this shit for a year now. You've been kind of with us from the beginning.
Yes, I have. Been probably one of the best things to do on a Saturday, seeing how there's nothing else whatsoever to do. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've now extended it to my family across the pond. She's now watching. She may be on today, I don't know.
So have we got anybody on with us today, Keel? Is anybody saying hi?
No, not yet. Very quiet still. Again.
Very quiet still.
Again.
Okay, so we'll make a start and then we can have a bit of a chat. So we thought, what will we do for the birthday party, the first anniversary of the Pirate King Kitchen? So we've done barbecue. We've done fine dining.
Yes.
We've done meals for date nights. We've done pretty much done everything. So what we've decided to do today is all of it. You like a bit of lamb, don't you?
Love lamb.
Fantastic answer, because today, Jesus Christ. No, that's next week. We have a bit of lamb. So we're going to endeavour. Again, this meat comes from Donald's and Butchers. So we have pretty much a lamb, or half a lamb. So we're going to endeavour to do 4 dishes today. We're going to do a bit of butchery. We're going to do a couple of fine dining. We're going to do one kind of date night type thing, and one barbecue thing. So the first thing we're going to start with is our leg of lamb. So you ever done much butchery, Mark?
No, not
Good.
at all.
That makes 2 of us. Right, so I'm reliably informed there's a knee in here. There is, just above that kind of wedge of fat. So we're going to take our knife just above the knee. vegetables. So again, just take that tendon off, because nobody needs to see that.
Right, so we've got Sandy Smith said, morning folks.
Morning Sandy, how are you today?
Tracy Murphy said hi, as usual. Francis Ferguson said good morning from Florida.
I take it that's your...
That'd be my sister.
well,
Louise said happy birthday Pirate Town Kitchen. Leslie said happy birthday Pirate Town Kitchen. Hi Troops. Billy Kirkwood said what the fuck.
yes, a year.
Francis Ferguson said happy first birthday Pirate Town.
So lamb shank, stock, a little bit of red wine, some rosemary, garlic, root vegetables, put in the oven 2 or 3 hours, forget about it. Lovely. But we're not making that today. So it can go over here. What we are going to use today is this. So this is the leg of lamb, chump end. So when you go to the butcher, you see a big leg of lamb and a small leg of lamb. Big leg of lamb, it's basically still got the chump on it and the H-bone. So we don't need these today. But we are going to just try, what we're going to do is open this up, butterfly it out, and get it on the... So while I'm beavering away here, have you had your coronavirus vaccine as yet?
I've had the first one, got it on Monday.
Where was that? Was that Ravenscraig?
Ravenscraig. Very well organised, the way they do it.
AstraZeneca?
Yes.
Any ill feelings after
I've
it?
had absolutely nothing.
Me and Tracy were up on Thursday, same place. There's something like a sci-fi movie, that big sort of sports barn emptied out. And Tracy's had a bit of, nothing major, just sort of feeling hot, a wee bit of a fever maybe. I think the medical description she gave for it was, I was on fire! But apart from that, a little bit of arm soreness, I had nothing, which is good stuff. So yeah, I was kind of, with all the horror stories you've kind of heard about the AstraZeneca, I was a wee bit concerned. But a couple of paracetamol before we went in, a couple of paracetamol during the day. Nothing really to report.
No, I was quite surprised how easy it was.
Cool. Right, so we've got that little bone, the big bone. Oops.
So the sound seems to be going when we go on and overhead. So
Is it on full video? Yeah. The sound seems to be going when we go overhead.
yeah. Louise said sound goes when on overhead.
Well, I'll try not to talk when we're on overhead. So all we're doing here, Mark, is just opening this out, try to get it all the same sort of thickness. So we'll cook it, hopefully, the same rate. We want it cooked nice and quick today, so you've got something to eat. So we'll put a couple of scores in it. So I know it's kind of a standard question these days. How, now that we're kind of coming to the end of the tunnel, how's your lockdown been? Are you looking forward to being out of it, or are you?
I'm looking forward to the social side, not seeing everybody that you're used to seeing. has been a bit different. I mean, I've not been off work since the start, basically, but the social side has been more difficult.
Yeah, it's that you can a lot of things that we used to take for granted, and I think it's made us appreciate a lot more the freedoms we had and the things we used to do and all that. So this is just some hoisin sauce. Let it down a little bit with some soy sauce. I'm just rubbing that all over our lamb, making a fantastic mess. What are you up to over there, Murphy? Causing trouble already. Okay, great. What I'm going to do just on the top end on this sort of skin, just score that as well. Because what we're going to do that is we'll cook this nice and fast in the barbecue. Hopefully get it nice and crisp on the outside and still sort of medium rare. So you want to play the t-shirt bumper, and then when people come back, I will tell you all about our giveaways today.
One more mustache. Oh, you put oil in it today?
He's fine. He's fine.
I don't even talk at the best of times. I'm the
T-shirt
quietest
bumper done.
person.
So you're now arguing on the show, which is fantastic. It's a little bit of a clean up there. So sorry, that takes the longest. I just want to get it done and dusted. So one of the things I did want to talk to you today is nothing to do with coronavirus and all that. Obviously, we explored in depth your relationships with bikes the last time you were on the show. So what I did want to talk to you about today is the North Coast 500, because you've done that. Please say you've done that. I've seen photographs.
We did do it,
So
though I didn't do it on the bike.
Didn't do it on the bike. So given the fact that, you know, lockdown is hopefully coming to an end, people are looking for things to do, we can't go abroad. In your own words, more than 10 hopefully. North Coast 500. Talk to me about it. I'm going to busy myself with stuff, and you can tell us all about it.
I was to say, we never done it on the bike. We went in the car. We were doing it for our anniversary. And it's probably the most that I've ever seen of Scotland in my life. I'd never even been that far up. I'd been as far as Peterhead on the east coast, and I'd been to Mallaig on the west coast, and that is it. So it was the scenery, the beaches, the castles. You couldn't, it's unless you go and do it. I couldn't do it justice just by describing it. It is Applecross Road, for want of a better word. My wife, keep away from the edge.
It is an adventure. We went to Applecross on a camping trip with a club that will not be named, but we went up in the truck, and there was a lot of people that were needing a calming beverage when they got to the top.
It's a whole one-way system, though, isn't it? You go up, but there's
it's not a one-way system. It's one way. And I remember on the way down, it was a fairly sharp incline, and we came to this bit that was there was a little Merc sports car coming the other way. I say, we're in a fully loaded truck because we didn't have any camping gear in the back. I'm like, nope, you need to reverse. So before you tell us more about that, Mark, side of lamb, we've got the loin with the ribs, and then you've got the eye at this end. So what we're going to do is go through the middle there, just miss that last rib. Here is I'm going to take this piece off, French trim up the rack, and get that onto cooking. So for those who haven't done the North Coast, where did you guys start? Where did you go? What are
We started
the
in
stops?
Inverness. So basically, we started the traditional route, kind of west to east. The first bit is it's pretty flat, nice, wee bit of scenery. But once you hit the coast, the western coast, it's just sublime. It really is sublime. I'm trying to think what the first places we got to. So we did Ullapool. We stayed in the Caledonia Hotel. And it was one of those really nice kind of, wasn't a summer's night. It was obviously towards the end of summer. But we sat on the quay wall having drinks because obviously you couldn't get into the pubs. And it was just fantastic. And then it was takeaway, fish and chips.
Nice.
Again, Ullapool fish and chips, slightly different. Back to the hotel, you were allowed to take them into your room or sit in the dining room. They just weren't doing food. And we had a bottle of wine and some beers in the room. And that done us for the first night. Yes, most definitely. Because there's things that I've spoke to people about and no, I never done that. And I've told them things that we never did the Shmoo Caves, is it? Shmoo Cave? But I've spoke to people about the Wallago Steps and they're like, no, we couldn't find them. Hell, we had 3 attempts to find them. They're just outside Wick, but they're not on any kind of signs. You've got to find the telephone box and the post office box and turn there. There's no sign for it whatsoever.
So
it's well worth
they
going.
need to up their marketing game.
I think it may be the people in the cottages that have taken the sign down.
Okay. Too many people were enjoying
I
the
think so, yes. It's not a huge car park, so obviously in the busier months it would be a bit disruptive to them, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So basically just cleaning up these bones on the rack. It is our birthday. We are doing a bit of a giveaway today. Got a couple of things running. If you go to the Pirate King Facebook page, you'll see there's a fundraiser there. Anybody that enters that fundraiser, whether it's £1 or £100 or whatever, don't care. Your name will go into a hat, draw one of you out. You'll get to sit here. I'll cook your lunch. We'll have a bit of a chat. You'll get a knife similar to this, and you get a big chopping board and whatever other goodies we can find. So it's for a great cause. It's for Scottish mental health, and you get, just think, put a £5 in, and you might get a 3-course lunch for a £5. Might be a shit lunch, but you'll get it for a £5. So please, if you make a contribution to that, if you're watching the stream just now, if you share the stream along with the people that shared the stream during the week, you will also be put in a hat and get drawn out. And Mark, can you pick up that first board? It's not in. And do your best to answer a turner. You'll get it's from the same knife family as this. You get one of our heavy choppers, Giggity, and you'll get a very nice laser engraved serving board. So there's a couple of the giveaways. There are other giveaways to come. We'll talk about those in a little while. So you would recommend the...
Yes, and we definitely will be doing it again. The amount of distilleries that are on the way up there.
What place do you think was the best place that you went?
Oh, probably Durness Beach. Again, we got there on a really nice day and we went for an 11-mile walk along the beach. It was beautiful.
I quite like to do it.
But you do it on the bike.
I would. I don't believe Alison would do it on the bike.
Just don't think I could go up that apple cross.
Yeah.
I would never do apple cross again. Never.
Yeah, I
This
would
message has not been endorsed by the
I
Apple
would
Cross
quite-
Tourist
quite happily do
Association.
it again.
Okay, so just cleaning our ribs off. If you were doing this yourself and you had a bit more time, you'd make a much better job of cleaning them. But we are on a schedule today. So basically, we've taken 4 ribs off of our rack. We've taken our breast of lamb off, which is almost like the brisket of a lamb. And we've got some sort of trimmings and bits and pieces here. What I'm going to do just to keep there's a little bone in there. It's not a bone, it's a little bit of cartilage. Just going to take that out. I'm going to just tie up the loin here just to keep its shape. Before I do that, again, want this fat to render. Any comments? Anybody joining us today? That we're...
I think we need people to ask Mark some questions. Because I'll get a couple.
Well, before you ask yours, well, I'm going to let you ask yours because I think it's the same one. And I don't think you're going to get away with this. So do you want to ask your question?
So, what happened to your face and your hair? And what made you keep the...
Lockdown wasn't ending quick enough. So the hair was going. It was just getting a bit unmanageable. And I did try a little trim. And the trim...
It got out of hand, didn't it?
Just a little carried away. And then the beard, I don't know, I was just getting fed up. Why did I keep the moustache? I don't know.
Because now that Savil's dead and Glitter's in prison, the paedophiles of this country need to have somebody to look up to. I think that's probably the best question. It's a fucking travesty, mate. It really is. I think Keely done a great job there of the proper journalism questions. But Jesus fuck, what's
Yes, I've had those similar comments from my workmates. I don't know, I quite like it.
You can't put your beard back.
It's true.
I think it's a competition with Josh. Josh is doing this twisting under out.
Has he?
It's like
Yeah.
food delivery, and I think it's a competition. I don't think he's willing to admit this.
Yeah, because he was trying to cut it off before the show actually started.
That's what
He's
it's
like,
like.
It's not long enough yet for doing that.
Yeah.
If we can just pull back to the cooking again, just very briefly. So basically, I've just pinched our loin together just to kind of hold that shape. Just a heavy pan. I've got heavy panning away. A little bit of avocado oil. Why do we put avocado oil in there, Mark?
Well, I'm sure it's got something to do with the high heat point, low heat point, high smoke point. It's one of the...
Another one of our giveaways today. There you go, Mark. Your own avocado oil.
Does it tell me why I use it?
No,
No.
that's my job. It's a higher smoke point. You get up to higher temperature without it. Olive oil tends to go a bit loopy when you. So I'm not going to bone out this other rack. But I'm going to take this other breast off. Put this back over here.
So Francis Ferguson says mustache has to go! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark!
Yes, that is out.
So not a huge amount of mustache love there, Fergie.
I'm getting that.
So I believe Little Birdie told me that last night or this morning you done 4 hours of Justice League and then watched the rugby.
We watched the last 3 minutes of the rugby. I'd actually forgotten it was on because we were in the Justice League thing.
Did you enjoy it?
Which one, the rugby?
No, the Justice League.
I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't believe that it was 4 hours. It didn't seem 4 hours.
No.
So sorry to interrupt you there. Just seasoning up our rack here. With some Karen salt, black pepper. Yep, back to the Justice League.
Yeah,
And we're just going to put that down.
I'm not one for being an aficionado of who's who and DC, Marvel, all that. I've watched most of them. So yeah, for me, it was another movie, but thoroughly enjoyed it.
Is that right? He kept last night commenting on Marvel characters going to that, and I'm like, the wrong comic.
Yeah.
I was waiting on Iron Man coming in.
Yeah, no, I remember going to. when we went to the cinema to watch the Justice League, the cinema version of it,
Was that fun there?
a wee bit. Tracy kept asking when Iron Man's coming, and
But it's like I thought the kind of robotic guy, when I first saw him, I thought that was
Cyborg.
Iron Man. Yeah.
no, I thoroughly enjoyed the re-envisaging of it, or basically the telling of the story that was meant to be told.
Yeah.
in
I
the
thought it was
first place.
very well done.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting because the Warner Brothers had basically said, "Well, that's it. We're done with the Justice League. No, we're going to do individual films now." But I think due to the fan reaction
Yeah.
to the Snyder Cut or whatever they're calling it, I think there's going to be there's more of a chance of a Justice League 2. Because I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a big comic book geek for most things, but I think people are kind of fairly fed up with the sickly sweet Marvel. I mean, Marvel, WandaVision and things like that are starting to get a bit darker now and a bit more realistic, but
Can't get into the WandaVision.
Casey was not a fan. I think they tried something with it, and I think they were partially successful. The stories that they based it on were proper old school Wanda and Vision stories, and some stuff there for Nightmare and Mephisto and all that. Which, I don't think they want to lose their casual viewers.
So we've got another
Oh,
first birthday present.
first birthday present. Oh, banana rum. I do love a banana, Gregory. So I'll be trying one of them later. I do invite you to join me. Thank you very much to Team Banana. So basically, while that's just browning off, taking that breast of that brisket.
Yep.
Again, we're not going to cook this off today. This is another one of the low and slow brigades from that part of the lamb. And we're just tying it up just to keep it all. So there's lots of, same as with a normal brisket, there's lots of fat in there. Cook it low and slow, that renders out, and it gives you a lovely little nibbling dish. Eat it like a small Sunday roast, just for a couple of people, or let it go cold and slice it down for sandwiches. You kind of get that almost corned beefy type of that, equal amounts of meat and fat. So we'll put that over beside our shank. Giggly. All these little bits and pieces, normally, I said this before on the show, keep a couple of empty bags or Tupperwares in your freezer. If you're doing lamb or if you're doing beef, throw them in there until you've got enough to make hamburgers or mince or whatever, so that nothing really goes to waste. So you're keeping up with the butcher of the loin there? Because you're doing the next one.
Is there another one?
Would I do that to you, Mark?
No.
So, as I say, I just want to get some colour on this as soon as it comes up to heat. So, last time you were on with your son, who just not long finished his basic training.
Yeah. Well, yesterday, day before, 23rd was his 1 year anniversary as well of being a Royal Marine for a year.
Fantastic. How's he? He's still loving it?
He is thoroughly enjoying it.
So while that's toasting away or browning off, just going to add a few things into it. There wouldn't have been an episode of the Pirate King without butter.
Was that thyme you put in?
Nope, that was rosemary.
Rosemary. It was the second one on my lips.
Yeah.
Rosemary and thyme. Not just the rosemary. A little bit of some butter in there. And some fresh garlic.
It does.
So again, the main thing we're trying to do here is not cook this. We are just putting some colour on it. Getting some of that fat to render.
This is the part that most people who are watching don't get, is the smells. Oh,
We're just not chopping this up, packing it, putting the, you put the paper and everything in there, there's nothing really going to do it any harm, because this is going to go in and cook for a bit of time. I will give you something to eat eventually, I promise. We'll get to that.
So how does it feel on your first birthday there, pirate thing?
Do you know what? We were actually just talking about this before we went live.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
It is to believe that, you know, we're averaging out at 25,000. Well, I was going to say, Sharon was on last week and got 25,000 views. So the bar has been set, so don't be shit.
she's got more assets than what I've got.
Hey, it's all about cooking.
It's been great for us, hasn't it?
I must admit, I mean, for my mental health, I don't know so much for Tracy and Kaylee's, but having that thing to look forward to, that thing to plan for, you know, being the type of person I am, having that creative outlet and then having the preparation for that creative outlet, it's kind of kept me a lot more balanced than I perhaps would have been.
I think everybody really, even for us, you know, something for us to look forward to.
And I mean, we started this off and we'll probably get, you know, half a dozen of our mates will tune in and laugh, and you know, we've got a couple hundred views, and that'll be you know, something to do every couple of weeks. To the point where we're getting, you know, regularly 25,000 viewers, 45,000 views one week, and yeah, it's can't believe it. I genuinely, I still do this thinking I'm talking to half a dozen people. On saying that, have the half a dozen people actually answered back?
No.
Very quiet.
You get far more sophisticated though, equipment-wise.
Yeah.
I can remember the first one, or the first couple, iPad.
Aye.
I mean, now it is like a studio setup. It's
Well,
it's stunning.
we had all the cameras for doing the recording shows. It's just it took us about 6 months to work out that we could actually use those cameras for live as well. Okay.
I would drive for a night out right now.
So here's one I prepared earlier. What we have in here is some carrots, some white swede, some asparagus, and I took some small sweet pickled onions. Basically gave them a good rinse. We're going to roast these in the oven. So as those pickled onions roast, the sweetness will come out the onion, the sweetness will come out the sweet pickling vinegar, but it'll also give us a sharpness to cut through the richness of our lamb. And obviously the white turnip has that almost pepperiness to it as well. And then just basically get in there some rosemary, some oil, olive oil, because we're using it for flavour. And what I'm going to do just right now, let me take that out and you get a shot in that, Tails.
It was amazing.
What we have in here, let's stick that back in for 2 minutes on the skin. So what we have in there is we've rendered out some of the lamb fat. We've got some nice browning butter, garlic, and rosemary. Just to take that off. To take our vegetables, put that in there. And what I'm going to do with this is just give these a light sort of saute, bring it up to temperature. I'm going to add in some stock and some water, and I'm going to rest the lamb back on top of it. So you're keeping the lamb out of the oil, out of the liquid, so it's still roasting, but you're actually cooking your vegetables at the same time. So I just want to get them up to temperature. We'll put that off to the side.
So, Alison said this to me that when is Mark going to finish the garden?
His or mine? So, talking about your garden, as I know, and I'm sure some other people do know, you're a bit of a whiz when it comes to metalwork and fabrication and all that kind of stuff. In fact, Keely, can you throw up the picture of Mark's fire pit? So we stole this off our Facebook. It's you have a dragon fire pit. You want to walk us through how you made that?
Is this the small one with the turrets?
It's the one where you're gazing into it like that.
I more want to talk
one in
about
my
the
garden.
mechanics of making the.
Well, we've always fancied an outdoor fireplace, so it's been a while, and we've been a bit quiet on the work recently, and I had the opportunity to make a fireplace. But rather than just have a normal chimney, I went a bit creative and made a chimney.
A three-dimensional dragon head.
Yes, basically a chimney in the shape of a dragon. Again, it wasn't planned. It just kind of came together. I didn't know exactly how it was going to turn out. I did at first have it nice and shiny and thought the rust would look nice. Didn't really like the way it rusted, so shined it up again and painted it with some high temperature paint. So now, yeah, quite happy with it.
No, it looks fantastic. So I'm just putting some concentrated stock in there. So I want to bring it. I don't want to put anything cold into the oven. I want to have everything at a temperature so when it goes in there, it continues cooking. It doesn't have that lag that you perhaps get. So that's come up to the boil. I'm going to put probably the same amount of water again and a little splash of sherry. Again, vermouth, white wine, whatever you've got handy, but trying to get champagne in this house to use for sauces from chance of losing an arm. So basically just going to rest the lamb back in there. And we're going to use our barbecue as an oven, because that's sitting around about 180 degrees anyway. So that's just going to roast away for as long as we need it to.
How long would that stand there for then?
Till it's ready.
You want to put that glue down?
Right, health and safety have stood in. The fun police have seen the possibility of a metallic balloon hitting a heat source. Right, so will we actually get you something to eat at this point?
Oh,
Yeah.
So we are back to our side of lamb. So we're now down in the eye. So the eye's like a little T-bone. That's where your chump chops would come from. So you've got kind of your fillet, and then you've got the sirloin part. So we are going to, the first thing we're going to do, again, all this butchery stuff is, well, what I know of it. Nice long strokes, giggly, along, keeping your knife pressed against the bone, and the meat will eventually want to.
so if you didn't know how to do this, I take it you could get your local butcher to
Well, that's a
do all the
fantastic
cuts.
segue.
Well done.
for you.
You can get your butcher to do it for you. Let's just revel in that for a minute, Mark, because that was actually quite good. You can get the butcher to do it for you. What you can also do is, Donald's the Butchers are in the very near future.
It's the one next to Lidl.
It's the one in Bothwell in Uddingston. I'm going to start a butchery academy, an online butchery academy, or you can actually. They used to do it in store. So basically, you go in, you buy half a pig or half a lamb or whatever, or a piece. Like we've got today,
Yeah.
And they would run through how you break it down into chops and legs and all that. So you actually you would get the half lamb and start So that's something for you guys to look out for in the near future. So Kevin can give me a little kickback there for mentioning his butchery skill. So basically he's going to take the rest of this fat off. And again, you can take some of that fat off, roll that, and you've got another breast joint, or mince it for lamb mince or burgers or whatever. But anything in there that doesn't look too savoury, you know, lumps of, as you feel it, fat's either soft or hard. It's hard. Get it out of there. It'll cook that off later. That's actually really good on the barbecue as well. Cut it really thin, and you're almost cooking like bacon, same part of the animal, as long as you cook it nice and crispy. Yeah. So just going to go the other side of the spine here. Again, keeping our knife as close as we can. I say if you have a saw, you can cut these into chops. Little chub chops are absolutely delicious. But for the purposes of today, I want the loin or the cannon out in one, hopefully, one whole piece. So this would be the equivalent of a wee sirloin steak. If you can kind of look at that there. So that's going to be our dish. And again, bones for stock or whatever. No, she wants a shank. What we're going to use at the moment though is a fillet. And we're just going to trim all this fat off it. And again, sharp knife, fingers out the way. Always keep a bit of distance between you and the knife. Anything that looks like sinew or silver skin, we're just going to take out. So if you see that, by taking that sinew, that's basically opened up there, and that naturally wants to open. So you've kind of got the fillet, and then you've got the chain on the fillet. So we'll take that wee chain off. We'll cook that later for nibbles. And we're kind of back down to the fillet. And we're just looking for that.
Are you talking about me or like just in general nibbles?
Yeah, general nibbles, not private nibbles. Or the right honourable nibbles. So any more comments or questions about what it is we're...
No, everybody's very quiet today. So Mark, what do you do? What do you work as?
I'm a fabricator. I work in a shipyard, Babcock's throughout Rosyth. So generally, I get the raw materials, get a drawing, turn the raw materials into the drawing.
Okay.
It can be smaller items like a seating for something, or
You went awful posh.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, we're doing training. I'm thinking about moving to another area, doing programming.
You want to see that on camera?
I can do anything.
Definitely likes. Right, so we have...
Within Babcock's.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, it's not as if you're leaving to become
I'm not
ice cream man.
leaving, no.
You see, Fraser Hine has left West
Playing with
Coast.
puppies.
Okay, great. Right, so we have probably about half of our little fillet. What we're going to do with it is we are going to take it, cut it very, very finely. You ever had steak tartare?
No, I can't say I have.
So there's a beef dish called steak tartare, which is made with fillet steak. And what they do is they take the best fillet, or the best part of the fillet, and they mince it. So it's almost like a patty. I can actually hear your wife's eyebrows from here.
Lamb is one of my wife's favourite dishes.
Ah, you're saying that. So again, just keep running the knife. We want this nice and fine. We don't want big chunks of it. We want it as fine, almost as minced. There's very little fat, but you will have that naturally sweet lamb flavour. And it's not as if you're having like big spoonfuls of this. You have a tiny bit of it on a cracker.
Better be a big cracker.
Hold on, just need to plug something in. So in here, I have, again, a very fine dice of capers, parsley, and gherkins, which are traditional acidic items that you would add into a tartare. Little bit of springer off in that corner. So we're going to put our lamb in. You look nervous, Mark.
No.
We're going to put some of our acid in, which is our capers, parsley, and gherkin. I'm now trying to remember what comes next. We have some Japanese meal.
What is the Japanese?
It's slightly more vinegary. It's made with the kind of sweeter sushi type vinegar. So we're going to start mixing those together. And all that in there. Anybody else feeling nervous by the tartare?
I'll put the wine.
So, during the break, we've got our large sweet pickled onion. See a theme around. We're just going to take a couple of slices off of that because I'm going to make some sweet pickled onion rings as a garnish to the tartare. We'll go for the rings towards the middle. And all we're going to do with these is just dust them in some corn flour.
Peter, do you put flannel on those or any of that? Do you just like something?
Come up with a dish and then work it backwards. So this is all part of what this dish was going to be from the first place. Just need a deep fat fryer to heat up. So corn flour. Where'd you put me tongs? So we're just going to corn flour. When that hits the hot oil, it'll give you a really thin, crispy coat. But again, you're going to get that sweetness from the pickled onion. On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you about the lamb tartare?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Sounds
Take
amazing.
a spoon, please.
It sounds amazing.
So have you never tried it before?
No.
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 But we're also going to get.
No, I'm not a huge lamb person.
But do you not like it? Or do you
No,
not eat it very
it's
much?
not I don't like it. If there was something else in the menu, I tend to go for that. I don't know what it is about lamb that.
So we're going to take you on a lamb journey today,
But
Mark.
no, it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
How do you think the wine will go with this dish?
Oh, Tracy's back. I think she's getting like sponsored by it. So you keep.
£19.
Don't you swear on my channel.
What did you say?
I said she's sponsored by Saturday Trip.
What is the wine, Mark?
It's 19 Crimes, The Deported. It's a new one. We've not tried this one before. It's a red blend with a cold brew coffee.
How does it taste?
Sounds lovely.
Can't really taste the coffee, but when you smell the there's an aftertaste of something. I'm not a coffee kind of a buff, so
I can taste the thanks. I can taste the coffee, not when I'm drinking it, but kind of
afterwards.
after.
Yeah, there is definitely an aftertaste, but it's very nice.
So, lamb tartare.
This is when it all goes quiet.
Going a bit chefy, Mark. I can only apologise.
I'm not a lover of this at all. Like, raw.
Casey, you need to remember you don't actually eat meat. You cook it so it's absolutely burnt.
Well, shall someone else cook it till it's absolutely burnt, in all fairness. I will defend your mother. So we also made a watercress and herb soup, cold soup, which will be served with our tartare.
Very fancy.
Very.
We also have some samphire. Samphire is a seaweed. It's very salty. It's grown down south near where they grow salt marsh lambs. So lambs feed on this. And it's pre-seasons the actual lambs as they're eating it. So we've got in here. So we've got a soup, our herb soup. We've got a tartare. I'm just going to drop our onion rings in. Bring our chili back.
Like tartare, Mark?
Never had tartare.
You actually just missed that question. Previously asked.
So,
Just going to stick a couple of little mint leaves.
Maybe that kind of well done kind of gal.
That you've seasoned.
So you would like this because it's like patty. A little chili. I'm just going to drop our
Actually,
and your raw onion rings here should only take seconds to cook.
what does tartare mean?
Raw.
Just raw. That's all it means.
Finely sliced or so these are your crackers.
Ooh.
To enjoy with your tartare. That's a. We do need to get sexy photographs before you eat anything, so be warned.
mushroom.
So I'm not going to be in the photographs.
Well, you know them.
So we are going to take is a little bit of our kosher salt. You've got to remember that your capers are going to be very salty, so we don't want to over season that. A little bit of our black pepper. I'll take a little pickled onion rings.
There's my moustache kills.
Just make sure the moustache is good.
Wow.
There we go, and that's dish one. Hold on, let me get the photographs.
Yeah.
With some finely diced chili, which we'll drop into the soup. Let's let the man eat. Well, I get my butcher's knife. That's you, sir. So, cracker, a little bit of the tartare, a little bit of your soup over the top, like sauce, and your golden. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to take the skin and the fat off of that little sirloin that we pulled off.
What is that? What's those wee things?
What little
Wee
thing?
crisp things. The wee crackers.
Pickled onion rings.
Oh wow.
If you don't like it, you can say, "Boo, I don't like that."
The flavours are what's in the soup, as you call it?
Watercress, parsley, a little bit of garlic, some white wine vinegar. Now, people look at that and go raw lamb and panic and go, I'm not eating actual lamb. But I would challenge them to have a nibble. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Oh, I missed one. Oh, I had this, I never put it on. Traditional garnish on a tartare is an egg yolk.
It's a very
A
small
raw egg
egg.
yolk. That's a quail egg. I was going to see if you like it first. Traditionally, what you do, that sits on top of the tartare, you crack it, and then you get that sort of creamy yolkiness. So if you pass level 1,
I would let Alison try it before you go that far.
Yeah. Okay, we're going for level 2 then. Quite like.
so I get a wee photograph of that kills well. I say just crack the yolk, and the yolk kind of goes. What?
It's nice, but it's squidgy.
It's nice, but it's squidgy. Giggity. Again, I would not advise you to do that with all your lamb. It's e-serving suggestion. You tried it, Kills?
No.
Would you like to try the quails?
Yeah, just a wee bit. Not all of it.
Would you like some of the quail's egg?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, right, okay.
You want some of the quail's
Yeah,
egg?
if you're
Did I just bust
No,
it?
just bust it and it works almost.
Right, not a lot of that.
No.
Tracy's doesn't like it vicariously now.
It's raw.
Yeah,
I'm getting better with my.
you need to reevaluate your. It's a texture and it's a flavour thing. As I said, the whole point of today was do something different
Really nice.
because it was a birthday party. It's not something that people normally do with lamb.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sweet pickled onion rings.
Lovely crackers as well. Very nice.
So that's a beetroot cracker.
You lost me there. Sorry.
So, as far as what we're doing now, I'm just taking the silver skin off of that little fillet of the sirloin of the lamb. Some fat and nasty stuff on the back. Pretty much cleaned that up now.
I think it's time.
And we get our pan. So what we're going to do with this next one, Mark, is we're going to get a pan on. A little bit of our avocado oil.
I'm obviously just ignorant. I never realised that tartare was raw. Honestly, I'm like,
We're just going to season our loin.
lovely.
A little bit of black pepper. A little bit of our Karen salt. So, since it's our birthday, if you would like to actually come on today and say hi or ask a question, Kaylee's going to put a link up If you follow that link, follow the instructions, we can actually get you on the show today, and you can say hi.
How do you place for an extra special surprise?
An extra special surprise.
Yes.
Lamb-B's having his doobie-doo.
He's Zooby-Doo. Can I squeeze past you? I apologise. I've got a hot dog in my pocket.
I think you'll need to take that camera.
So, but I take a camera.
Yeah. I don't know how the sound will be.
The sound will be fine because the mics
Right, okay.
are.
Hey Mark, you're back live.
Camera still live. So, give me your honest thoughts on the tartare.
There's nothing there I wouldn't try again. I can't believe I've just eaten raw lamb, a raw egg, but it tastes amazing.
Good, I'm glad you like it. So, we're back to our little sirloin. So what we're going to do is we're going to just pan fry this, get a bit of colour on it. So while we're doing that, I know a lot of the rallies have been kind of knocking ahead this year. Do you think we'll get anything this year rally-wise?
Maybe towards end of August, September maybe. But again, it might not be what was planned. It may be an improvisation on.
A version of?
Yes. Oh, look at this.
Can I put this here?
Yeah, stick it in front of the barbie and we can get a full.
Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
So that was Leslie and Louise, who are big friends of the show. I'm blown away with that. They've just Leslie's. I'm assuming it's Leslie. The logo on the sale, lovely chocolate cake. So we've got a pudding. I don't do pudding, so we have a pudding, which is a bonus. So as I said, I just wanted to get some light colour on this.
Wow.
I'm actually outstanding with that, sorry, and taking away from the show.
So
Did you
just
get some stills of it?
Yeah, I'm going to get some.
You know, I never left you much, sorry mate. You want
sorry, I've got chef's nibbles over in the corner here,
Okay. Have
as
you got
opposed
plenty
to
of
chef's
crackers left?
nibbles. Cool. So have you put the link up yet?
Yeah, put the
For
link
the-
up. I'll keep it up though for a wee while.
Keep an eye on it, and if anybody wants to join us, they are more than welcome. You still nibbling away there, sir?
Oh yes.
So, as we move on to our dish, what we have here is some Parma ham. You can keep nibbling away, it's absolutely fine. Some Parma ham. And we have some yellow courgette just stacked on top of it. Because we've cut all the fat off the sirloin because we want to try and make something a bit fancy. Don't want to overcook that loin. I want to protect it. So just going to put the loin in the middle of the courgette. Wrap our Parma ham over. Make sure it wraps nice and tight. Once we've got it flipped over, let's pull our
Lamb sushi.
cellophane away, and we have a version of lamb sushi. So what we're going to do here, because the join's on the bottom, I don't want to put it presentation. Usually you put presentation side down first, but what I want to do is crisp up this so that that's kind of set in shape before we put it over. And I'm also going to put it in just a warm pan. Again, I don't want an awful lot of half heat on that because that loin won't take a lot of cooking.
Isn't that cake absolutely brilliant?
Absolutely stunning. When I see that,
We'll get
Leslie
into that later.
Bathgate, Simmons, Smith, McDonald, whatever she's called, what combination of names she's calling herself these days, I'm going to give her a hug, hard enough probably to break her ribs. This cooker continues.
Was that a nice surprise for you there?
It certainly was incredibly unexpected. Because I wonder when you said to me today, he goes, you better set up one of those cameras and you need to take it in case you need to take it into the barbecue. I'm like, I'm not taking it into the barbecue, I'm not that shite. But anyway, I now know that the HDMI transmitter works. That's a bonus.
You need to just
See the magic fairies that brought the pictures from outside and put it on the big television. Yes, I am. You don't have to ask. I'll tell you to your face. So, we have our little parcel, or lamb sushi as you call it, cooking away. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to check my rack of lamb. So that's sitting about 62 degrees. I'd like that to come up 5 or 6 more degrees because it will be sitting quite pink at the moment. Our lamb, our barbecue lamb or a teriyaki hoisin lamb, sitting about 62. Once that gets to 65, we'll pull it off and let it rest. Okay, great. Go have a rest after you pull it off, Mark. Any questions, comments, anything?
No, I've got to think so much. Is there anything that you would like to try that you haven't yet tried?
Food wise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Cream of some young guy?
Doesn't
That
matter.
Thai dish?
It's something I've never tried.
Do you like Japanese food or?
I can't say I've had that much Japanese food, to be honest. We do go to the teppanyaki, Really like the teppanyaki.
Where's that in Glasgow?
Yes, we got the one at Hope Street, corner of Hope Street.
Yes, it's the one we went to with the web.
Sapporo.
It's actually very good.
Sapporo, I think.
Yeah, Sapporo.
It's very. I think you're paying for the show.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the show is really good.
I'm sending this over to the cheap seats to try. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
No.
Oh no, you were here when I was making it. That's not any good. Oh God, I'm like that, Phil. No. Yeah, I had a wee taste of it when I was always taste your food. Not a fan.
So, Mark, what's been your favourite episode? Obviously not this one, because this doesn't apply, but...
My favourite episode has got to be the nachos.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was watching the nachos or actually going to buy the ingredients.
The adventure.
Yeah.
Everything with the ingredients thing.
I think it was a tad, but I mean, obviously, I wasn't over here to try yours. But if yours tasted anywhere like what mine tasted, then yours must have been amazing.
Do you know what it was for me? I don't usually like cheese sauce, but it's different.
Well, I've now made that cheese sauce. I think it was just normal nachos we were doing, so just a cheese sauce. But instead of just melting cheese and no, corn flour was in and everything was in it. There was only 2 different types of cheese. I didn't go to the extremes of the 4. But no.
So this is a pan that we pan fried our lamb in. So we're just going to deglaze that with some pork.
So what's your favourite thing to cook here?
Sushi.
Favorite thing to cook. Technically, I like doing fancy stuff. I love doing barbecue, but barbecue is the way what I consider barbecue. It needs to be 8 or 12 hours. It needs to be a full brisket, or it's not something you would do for like, the 3 of you. You know, it's something that. So I like when we have parties or we have friends over because you can then. I mean, we done a shin of beef, which just looks like a dinosaur drumstick.
Oh no, it looked like somebody's leg.
I mean, I've been to
Yeah, but you yummed it all up.
I've been to a couple of your barbecues and
Just 1 or 2.
wow. I think the best night I've had over here was the Brazilian night.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think it's
That was a lot of wax. That was a lot of wax.
having that much
That was a brilliant night.
Yeah.
It was,
definitely.
and I'm not just going for Peter here because everybody put the effort in, and I'm talking about you, Kaylee, you, Tracy.
We done
Can I
fuck.
just
We
say
done
as
fuck
well?
all.
Oh no, they did. I'm sorry.
Can I just
When?
say, I stayed sober for the full night, done all dishes.
Yeah, and done all the
served
serving,
No, you
and you served a lot of the meat as well.
Yes.
I did fuck all. She was right.
We
I
know.
done fuck all.
We know, Tracy. We know.
So in here we have a pork which we've reduced down a little bit, but some rosemary, some fresh mint, some garlic. I'm going to put some stock in there.
So, Mark, what are you drinking now?
We're on to the Bud Light, so I'm watching my figure.
Okay.
I think, like everybody else in lockdown, the jeans, the buttons unloosened, and yeah, it's just been too many nights by the TV with the comfort food.
Yeah.
But it's been good.
I don't really complain about it. I would hardly call you chubby.
Yeah.
Just getting back for all the sticker comments.
Mark, have you actually stuck your stickers anyway? Your private things?
No, they're in my drawer still.
He's waiting for that third one so he can make a bikini.
I keep on putting things on the back of my phone, but they don't last long. They always kind of rub off. So, yeah, I don't know where they're going yet. There will be one going on my new bar once I've redone the bar, because that's where I tend to put all my stickers.
Yeah.
But no, I've not put them anywhere as of yet.
So as you know, we love our dairy on the Pirate King kitchen. So to our stock and pork and herbs, I've just added a reasonable amount of butter, or an unreasonable amount of butter, depending on your school of
So
thought.
was you salted or unsalted?
Unsalted. Oh,
Unsalted.
it's can always control your seasoning. So basically, just putting that in there. Going to do a couple of things. I am going. I don't know what they are. As soon as I know what they are, I'll let you know. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a tray. I'm going to pull our barbecue lamb out. So that's our barbecue leg of lamb that we put in earlier on. We're just going to let that rest. Our little rack and our roulade just need a couple more minutes.
What do you smell like?
Lamb.
Lamb. What do you smell like? Good. Yeah.
So basically, we put that in, butterflied out the leg, and just gave it a slather. Love that word, slather. A slather of hoisin sauce. Why did we use hoisin sauce, Mark?
He doesn't know.
You ever had crispy duck from the Chinese?
Yes.
What's the sauce that comes with it?
Hoisin.
Here we go. What are we making, Mark?
Crispy lamb.
Correct. Fantastic.
Well done.
Oh, that's such a shame.
It's not a shame.
No, he's doing
He's learning.
So the hoisin makes it crispy.
There's a lot of sugar in it because it comes from plums.
Just drink more wine, Mark. Just drink more wine.
So we're going to be using hoisin sauce
Top up, sir.
as to go into the pancake, which we're going to use wraps for. So just keeping all the same flavour notes.
Sponsored by 19 Crimes.
I wish. So we have our hoisin sauce, have our cucumber, and we have our. Why are you bleeping? We're far too much shit that bleeps. So, what we are going to do, because I want to get some with some fat on it. So you see that they're nice and crispy on the outside, but pink as a pink thing
Let's see it.
on the inside. So I just want to leave that for a couple more minutes. I say when you go to the Chinese, you get the little rice wraps. So these are tortillas. I'm still buying tortillas, even though I have a tortilla press.
Where did you get the tortilla press, Peter?
I couldn't possibly tell you. You made it in about half an hour. You madman. So yeah. So I want to keep that because I'm going to do an episode of actually making the dough and making your own tortillas. So what we're going to do with this is I'm going to show you how to make the first one, and then you're on your own. And then you'll be feeding the crew. Okay. So a little bit of hoisin sauce in the middle of the pancake. Nice spoon. Some cucumber. A bit of spring onion. Some crispy lamb. You might need a teaspoon for the sauce going forward. And then you just roll it up or hold it like a taco and eat it. There's actually drool coming out your wife's eyes.
Yeah.
So that is our crispy lamb leg.
I need to get pictures, Mark, so please.
That's
don't-
fine.
Has anybody taken us up on a
Not yet.
phone in? Fabulous prizes to be won. Yeah.
I'm going to phone in.
No, you're not.
What would you do with cooking equipment other than give it to me and go, where does this plug in? No, we're darling, it's a towel.
Talking about tea towels.
Talking about tea towels. Mark, would you like to model? I don't know if the camera's actually on you to model.
It's on. Over here, Mark.
So I'm going to just move this. Running out of places to move things. Can I give you this just off camera to put somewhere safe?
Look, Alison's taking it.
Your pocket is not considered somewhere safe.
Not getting that back. What are we to do with that?
Just a brand new worktop. So anybody joining us later, we have a fundraiser going at the moment. If you donate anything at a fundraiser, it could be £1, it could be £5, it could be £100. Don't really care. You could win the opportunity to come and sit at this seat that Mark is doing things with an oven mitt. And I will cook you a lunch you'll never forget. You might not like it, but you'll never forget it.
Have you got our calendar?
What? Yeah, everyone's on camera.
Okay, so this is our little lamb partial back out.
You can eat that by yourself.
Just going to let that rest for a moment or two.
You need the pancake.
You don't want that because people over here don't know.
Oh, you need to eat that first.
Pancake.
I was
waiting
some.
to get some more wraps, and I was going to make some for the crew.
No,
I know it's fine. You eat it.
eat yours first, and then you can see to
The crew.
the crew's
Oh, well.
pancake requirements.
Yeah, hurry up. That's right.
Little side in.
Terrible.
No, you've done that wrong.
No, I don't care.
Much making that for everything.
No, you
Yes, I
haven't.
believe that.
I've never understood those words in that order. Too much meat in that. Is that ticking any boxes for you?
I could be turning back to lamb here.
Do you prefer that over the duck? Oh,
That's a fantastic question that he'll get back to it in 2 seconds. What are we looking at runtime at the moment, Kills?
I do like the crispy duck,
That's all right.
and it is a different flavour. But that is really, really, really nice. Really nice.
Okay, so for our presentation on a lamb roulade,
Now, Mark, what is that?
Asparagus, spears.
I'm just going to take the asparagus, and I have cooked it, so I'm just going to put it into a sauce just to heat through. Also have some pomegranate seeds, which I'll literally just going to drop into the sauce and then pull back out again. Again, we just want a bit of heat on them. I'd like to give that a few more minutes to rest, but I'm an impatient god. Meat juices in.
Benefit of the doubt.
So here's the proof of the pudding. I'm just going to take a slice through the middle. Nice blushing lamb in the middle. A courgette on the outside. Two nice slices, which don't go on the plate yet.
Mark, not you, Mark. It's a Mark on the plate.
how did you enjoy that, Mark?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Nice blushing lamb. Pomegranate seeds into our sauce just to heat through it.
So Mark, you're going to make one for
Yes.
everyone else.
You want Alison? You'll cook it with cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, 3. It's only that.
Come on, Fergie. Fetch. Keep going.
Come on, Fergie.
God, look at that.
Better hurry up because there's more coming.
Oh my God. Don't worry about Fergie. It's fine.
Don't worry about Tracy, she doesn't need anything.
It's Alison. Make it for Alison.
You've done that wrong already, Mark.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Two bits of media. It'll be fine.
Tracy doesn't want cucumber on hers if that's alright.
You know what? Make one for Alison first.
Yeah, she
I
will.
can eat this later.
No, you can't.
Thanks, darling.
So we go, that's a cannon of lamb
Wow.
It's fine.
with pomegranate and asparagus. People on there burning water. Yeah, so that's that. Are you still on wrap manufacturing?
Yes. That's got cucumber on it, that one. No cucumber. Okay, no cucumber. No cucumber.
Mark, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I get a wiggle on, mate, because there's more dishes coming.
Master.
This is our usual show.
So
Kind of the story of
no
my life.
cucumber.
Takes me an hour and a half to get it going,
No
and then you get
cucumber.
4 right in one go. I went looking for
Actually,
two.
Mark, you're done. You're done with the
you're
production.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a little
Another one for Tracy.
lamb rack out of there.
That's fine, Mark. We're done. We're done. Unless you want any more.
That's what's done.
You have your own. No, for you. For you. For you. That's it for you. You're done. Mark, just eat what you want. For you. For you. For you.
Right, put that the fuck away and eat that.
Hang on. Got one more to make. They're eating them quicker than I can make them over there.
So I'm going to run through, what camera are we on? Nibbles.
Big one.
So just to run through the giveaways. If you want to sit in that seat, have lunch, you will get a nigiri knife like this with the white handle. You'll get a round chopping board and all manner of pirate stuff. All you have to do is go to the fundraiser and put a donation in, whether it's a couple of quid or 50 quid, whatever you can manage.
Very, very
All the names will get put in a hat. Somebody will win, and either you or somebody you pick can sit in that seat and have this kind of carry on. The other thing we're doing, Mark, can you model the prize?
Go.
If you're watching this now, hit the share button. No, the knife and the board. I told you we should have booked Anthony Turner.
He didn't know.
Yes, he did.
Give me his due.
So you can have this prize fingered by Mark Ferguson. If you're watching this now, hit share. Your name will go in a hat, and you can win that board, that knife. You just cut yourself.
Engraved, by the way.
Yeah.
Engraved.
And some blood.
Yeah, because it's a very sharp knife. Again, it's from the same family of knives as the cleaver that I use. We have another
Just think about
giveaway which we're running at the moment. There should be a link at the bottom of the screen.
Is that this one?
If you dial in, you could win yourself a prize.
Do you want
Anybody
me
interested in winning a prize?
to roll you one?
No? Sorry, I'll get something later. Again, it's for kitchen equipment. Tracy, you wouldn't know what to do with it.
Where shall I go with this, Peter? Up here?
We give it to Nibbles, he'll
Nibbles?
dispatch it.
So
So you get the ironiness from the rare lamb, you get almost bitterness from the yellow courgette, you get the saltiness coming off of the parma ham on the outside, then you get that sweet buttery hit off the sauce. Everybody loves a sweet buttery hit. And then little pomegranates exploding in your mouth. 'Cause I know you like things exploding in your mouth, Mark.
yes.
Wow. Thoughts?
Stunning. Absolutely stunning. You can actually taste every one of those ingredients: the ham, the courgette, pork,
What kind of ham is
asparagus, parma ham with yellow courgettes, and a portuguese sauce with pomegranate seeds.
I've never tried different.
There's none left.
A different coloured courgette.
Still left.
What is the difference between the colours?
The lighter the colour, is slightly more bitter, but it's a tighter fibre. If you think of an aubergine, it's the same family. By the time you get to that size, it's darker, it's richer flavour. But the inside of it, the texture of it's quite spongy. When you get down to the yellow courgette, it's really quite tight. It's almost like a cucumber. Holds its shape well, but it's great for breaking up an overly rich dish, which lamb can be sometimes. So, all those hours ago when we started, we butchered our lamb chops. So we'll just carve our lamb chops. It's a nice crispy fat on the outside. That fat's protected our lamb. We're going to take some of our pan juices. What we're also going to do on this.
Oh, we used it.
So they're great for just keeping in the fridge or keeping in the freezer. Thin slice over a steak or a bit of lamb or a bit of chicken. Fantastic. So a little bit of our pan juices round the outside. And I see our pan juices are all our lamb juice, plus all the butter and garlic and everything that we put in at the beginning.
Wow.
So got a couple of photographs on that, and then I will So we were talking about, we might possibly get out in the bikes. There might be some rallies towards the back end of the year. We've still got our lodge booked for Aviemore. I'm really looking forward to that. Even if Thunder's not on,
You're still going to
by
go.
all means, dig in. We went last year, had a great weekend. And that's that. So just to run through today, we started off with that whole chunk of dead animal. We boned out the leg. Gave it a bit of a slather in hoisin sauce, put it in the barbecue, hot and fast. Made it nice and crispy on the outside, but still sort of blushing in the middle. We served that with some flour tortillas, some more hoisin sauce, and thin cucumber and spring onion. I'm going to let you have your orgasms yourself. I didn't want to interrupt Sharon's last week, so I'm not going to interrupt yours. We then took our lamb fillet. We diced that really finely. We added in some capers, some gherkins. I made it a lamb tartare. We served that with the herb soup, which was made with watercress, some spinach, parsley, garlic, white wine vinegar. We served that with a quail egg yolk and some beetroot crackers. We then done a poached asparagus and lamb, which was wrapped in parma ham and yellow courgette, and we done that with a butter mounted pork reduction sauce. And the thing that Mark's currently creaming his pants to is a rack of lamb with oven roasted vegetables, pan juices, and a parmesan and black pepper and truffle compound butter. I think that's everything. 4 dishes from a lamb.
Well done, Pirate King.
You'll never eat lamb again. So it's been a birthday. Did nobody take us up on the call-in?
No.
Well, more fool you could have won something. We also received a fantastic set of Pirate King balloons, a fantastic Pirate King birthday cake, and it's been. I'm not saying I haven't enjoyed it. I haven't enjoyed it yet because I've been too busy cooking bloody lamb. Have we had any comments? Has anybody said anything this week?
No.
I'm going to stop doing this because nobody's bloody watching
No,
it.
don't. Please don't.
No, everybody's watching it. It's just they're not saying anything.
Comments are like,
So-
people are watching.
If you want to win a prize, I have another chopping board and an oven glove to give away. That was going to be the call-in prize. Drop a comment with your favourite episode, and if your favourite episode and my favourite episode line up, you've just won yourself a chopping board and an oven mitt. How's that sound?
What's your favourite episode, Peter?
I'm not telling you. That will be revealed.
Come on, you've just spoken.
I know, but I'm just giving out a quiz question.
No, but that's your episode.
Yeah, and you just asked me what my favourite episode is.
Just Stephen, just shush.
No, but that's his favourite.
Okay, I feel we've gone down a rabbit hole
Yeah, we
here.
have.
So, I'm going to just enough. So, thank you so much for joining us on our birthday. It's been a funny old year. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this. We've had on average 15, 20,000 people. Try and get 25, so we'll just keep an eye on the numbers for this week. 25,000 people. We've even had 45,000 people watching some weekends. It's at no point did I think this would become that. So thank you all so much. Like, share, do all the usual shit. It's Facebook. If anybody's talking to anybody from MasterChef. If anybody's talking about MasterChef, let them know they've kind of fucked up big time. Right, so I think we're going to light some candles and blow them out and do all that kind of things. But no, thank you all for being on this journey with us. Hopefully, lockdown is going to start being in our rear view mirror soon. We can all get back to normal. If the appetite is there, I am happy to keep doing this. We are going to go back to try to get back to our recorded format, but more than happy to keep doing the live shows.
Right.
So let us know. So
this
could be interesting.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pirate.
Happy birthday to you. Hey! Yay!
even managed to blow it from behind. Giggity.
Giggity.
And on that bombshell, hit my birthday music.